Hey guys, it's Aurora again. So, second part of this video series, we're going to take a look at my stealth build. So, when I go stealth, I'm a ghost forcer for the most part. I do have some random points elsewhere, and we'll go over each of those. Stealth is key, so I have Cable Guy aced. That comes in handy. I don't use a whole lot of cable ties. If you guys know me, I usually shoot and bag. But I'm not against having an ace just in case. It definitely comes in handy, especially in cases where you don't have unlimited ammo bags or a vast majority of places to hide people and to take care of body bags and things like that. And then, as always, endurance aced. So if we go over to enforcer, like I said before, we have transporter aced, oppressor, we still ace that. We have die hard basic, and again, that's in case you're in primary bleed out. This is just to get me up the tree. This is in case I go loud. If I'm in the middle of a heist that I'm stealthing and I go loud, or if it's one of those heists like Firestarter, which Firestarter I have a completely different build for, but there are a few heists where they're multi-day heists, and one day you may go silent and the next day you may go loud. So this build is helpful and it's designed for those type of heists. Shotgun impact, again, my weapon stability with all my shotguns is increased and I deal 35% more damage. Typically when I'm stealthing, I'm using my silent loco, which we'll go over. I have started using a silent judge as well, but that's only on particular heists, and I'll kind of get into that when we get over to the gun section. So stun resistant ace, tough guy aced, berserker aced. Berserker I ace out because if I'm stealthing like a bank, I can actually go and bring my health below the 25% so that I can go ahead and use my saw to saw open the safety deposit boxes and do the slide the D. And that's where you're actually, hitting the D button and sliding your way across those safety deposit boxes instead of doing each one individually. It makes it so that instead of having to double tap a safety deposit box, you only have to hit it once, which makes that slide possible, and it makes the whole thing so much easier. So if you've ever played with someone and all of a sudden you see them just kind of slide from one end of the deposit boxes to the other and they all fly open, that's why they have berserker aced, and they've gotten their health below 25%. And then I just take one ammo bag. Typically, if I'm in stealth, I'm going to bring my ECMs. I'm not going to bring my ammo bags anyways. But again, if I'm doing a bank heist, I like to be able to at least bring, 2 ammo bags. I like to at least be able to bring 2 ammo bags with me, so I can use ammo for my saw. And then my saw so I can saw open the boxes. Now this is we're going stealth. This is the primary skill tree that really everything culminates from. So Sprinter Ace, that's a basic thing for me. Cat Burglar, I actually ace Cat Burglar when I go stealth just because it makes it easier. I can jump off of areas, and if I get in situations where let's see, like Shadow Raid for example, if you're in the staircase and you need to jump down, having Cat Burglar helps you from jumping down and bumping your head and going into bleed out and having your teammates have to come rescue you for silly reasons. So Cat Burglar is good to have. Fast hands as always. Again, Chameleon, in casing mode you can mark guards, cameras, and your concealment is increased by 25%. Cleaner, you deal 5% more damage against special enemies. You can buy a body bag asset which contains 3 body bags that can be shared by your crew, and 1 additional body bag is added to your inventory. So stealthing, having a body bag, that's kind of a given. Shinobi, I have that basic, and that's my walk speed is increased by 25%, and again my crouch speed is increased by 10. If I'm stealthing, I'm crouching for the most part. or crouch jumping. But if I'm walking around, I'm usually in crouch, so that's helpful. If you aren't, the thing about Shinobi to remember, because I stream, I am primarily the person that's hosting. So I don't ever have to worry about the noise that the guards make when I shoot them. Or I don't have to worry about other people hearing that noise, I should say, because I'm hosting. If you're not the host, if you're not primarily a host, having Shinobi aced is going to be very important if you're doing anything stealth with other people. Because if you don't have Shinobi aced, and say you're in Diamond Store and you go to shoot the guard in the cam room, when you shoot him, that release of air sound that they make, they will actually hear that in the Diamond Store. If the host comes in and does it, it doesn't matter if they have Shinobi or not, they're not going to hear it. But if you go in and you do that, there's a good chance that they're going to hear that in the Diamond Store. The heist is going to go loud and you're going to have to start over. You're going to have to fight your way out. So Shinobi Ace is always a good one to have, but in this case, I only have it as basic. And then I have my ECMs upgraded all the way to door poppers. That's key for me because I'm I'm impatient and I don't like looking for keycards. So, I need to be able to pop a door if I want to. ECMs are great for stealth. They'll get you out of a bind very quickly. They also, doing it this way, if a pager goes off, I have pager blocker, which comes in handy if you're stealthing by yourself and say you come across two guards. I'm not very good at juggling pagers. I try, but if a guy's too far away or, there's a hesitation there's a good chance I'm going to blow the mission. So if I come across two guards, I'll shoot one, the pager will pop up, I'll drop the ECM, I'll shoot the other, and then I'll answer the pager that popped up. What that ECM does is it prevents the other pager from going off until after I'm done dealing with the first guard. So it makes solo stealth very, very easy. And then lockpicking expert, and that's just a given. Nobody wants to sit there and pick a lock and come on. It reminds me of the big bank vault sometimes if you don't have lockpicking ace. So that's a key one for me. And then I did dabble in the fugitive tree lately. A couple of things that I did. Hidden blade, it increases your melee weapon concealment by 2. So that's helpful to bring my concealment down, which is important when you're stealthing. Enemies make 95% less noise when shot or melee to death. So Hidden Blade actually has the same effect as Shinobi Aced. Hidden Blade Aced, I should say, has the same effect as Shinobi Aced. I aced it so I could get up the tree. And as anyone that's ever did any kind of loadout can tell you, that's kind of a given. You're going to get stuck doing that on occasion. But that's another way that you can make sure, if you don't want to do Shinobi and you want to do some stuff in the fugitive tree, Hidden Blade's going to be very beneficial to you. Running gun, just because I like to be able to move, so you gain 10% additional movement speed. Sixth Sense, this is one of my favorite. When you stand still for 3.5 seconds in stealth, you start highlighting people around you within a 10-meter radius. And then acing it allows you to pick up items in casing mode. So acing it comes in handy for particularly for me, like bank heists, which are kind of my thing. You can go in, look for the key card, pick up the key card, and be ready for the heist all before you mask up. But the key one for me is the basic, and that's the standing still. Now it does similar to what Spotter does, but I actually prefer this to Spotter. What Spotter does is it highlights all the guards on the map for you, which comes in handy in things like Shadow Raid and so on. Or, a lot of heists. Election Day is another one. But at the end of the day, I'm typically more concerned with what's directly around me. And Spotter doesn't highlight, civilians. It doesn't, using Sixth Sense, it highlights everyone around you within a 10-meter radius. So I'm able to see what's going on all sides of me. So that's really my primary thought process in choosing something like Sixth Sense over the Spotter skill, is I'm more concerned with what's in my immediate area. All I have to do is sit still for 3.5 seconds, and now I know where that civvy is. Now I know when I turn the corner, I'm not going to run into that civvy face to face and have to shoot him and hide his body somewhere. That type of thing. Most of the time, anyways. And then Winston Wolf. You carry an additional body bag, and during stealth, you know how to kill without leaving a trace. It reduces your cleaner cost by 75%. Anybody that's ever seen me play Payday knows that reducing that cost is very helpful. I'd probably be much richer if I didn't kill as many civvies as I do. But that's just, again, a matter of preference. And that's the thing, when you're building your skill, when you're building your skills, you know, you have to think about your gameplay. Not everything is going to, that works for me, is going to work for you. It depends on your style of play, what weapons you're using. You know, there's so many different factors in that. And then I use the Burglar perk deck for my stealth build. So, you know, it has the basic things: headshot damage, standing still and crouching decreases your chance of being targeted by 10%. I bag corpses 20% faster. +1 increased concealment. Movement speed up by 15% if I'm wearing armor, which I don't generally, but still. There are some dodge in here, but I don't really use dodge. You pick locks 20% faster. And when I say I don't use dodge, I don't build around dodge. So, you know, obviously dodge is it's a hit or miss type thing, no pun intended. But it's not something that I focus on at all. So we have another dodge. Your chance to be targeted while standing still and crouching is decreased by an additional 5%. You answer pagers 10% faster, which can come in very handy. Fast and Furious, you do 5% more damage. And then standing still and crouching increases your armor recovery rate by 20%. So all of those things are working in conjunction with the skills to keep us as sneaky as possible. And then as far as my loadout goes, what I'll bring with me, depending on the heist, I always bring the Car 4, which I have nicknamed my silent paintball gun, because for me it is pretty much useless. It has no stability. It's a silent paintball gun. That's all there is to it. But it's a key weapon to bring with me, because it helps keep my concealment down. So, and in order to do that, we put the short barrel on there, also the low profile suppressor, the competition foregrip, and as you can see, each of these things, well, most of them, here we go. Let me go back here. So the short barrel, that adds +2 to the concealment. In doing so, it takes 2 away from accuracy, which is another reason why I'm not overly fond of this gun. In order to get the concealment so low, you're going to see we take a lot of hits in accuracy, and the thing kind of bounces around. So it's good for like a 1-2 hit. Short burst, it's okay, but it's not very powerful, so it doesn't do a whole lot of damage anyways. Again, the only time you'll ever see me whip it out is when I've run out of ammo on another gun, and at that point in time, I'm like, oh man, now I'm screwed. So the low profile suppressor, that's just so that the gun can be silent, obviously. The competition foregrip, that gives us +2 to concealment. It does add a little bit to damage. We get +2 on damage and +4 on accuracy, but stability goes down by 9, which again makes it all kinds of bouncy. Compact laser module, just because this one doesn't do anything as far as concealment goes, and I'm just a stickler for having some kind of laser on there. Straight grip, so we do +2 concealment on the straight grip. The vintage mag, it adds +1 concealment. Unfortunately, it brings our magazine down by 8, but we don't shoot with it anyways, so we're okay. No sight because of concealment. Folding stock adds +3 concealment, and again drops my stability down by 2. and then the exotic receiver, which adds +2 damage and +2 to stability. So it's not the greatest gun, but it serves its purpose. Now, depending on the heist that I'm doing, I'm either going to bring my locomotive, which is silenced, or my judge, which is silenced. So let's take a look at my loco first. The loco is the one that I'm going to use the most often. There are only a handful of heists that I use the judge on, and that's simply because the loco sprays, whereas the judge I can get a more direct line shot. So in things like the new diamond heist, where there's lots of glass around you, having the judge I find comes in much more handy than shooting a loco and watching multiple cases crash around you. So let's take a look at my silent loco. So we have buckshot in here, which is increases the damage by 15. The silent killer suppressor, again, that lowers the damage, so the buckshot and they kind of counterbalance each other. But this is how we keep the gun silent. So, it ups the stability, it lowers the concealment, it lowers the threat, but it keeps the gun silent, and that's really what matters. Again, the compact laser module and the straight grip for concealment reasons. Extended mag, because, we want to get as much in there as we can. That gives us 2. Again, no sight for concealment purposes. I personally use the tactical shorty stock because it gives us +3 on concealment. It does lower the stability a bit, but I don't have much of an issue with stability with my loco. And that's it. So that's the silent loco. And if we're not using the silent loco, we're using the judge. And with the judge, again, we're going to use buckshot. I use the silent killer suppressor. I actually, again, laser module and no sight because of. So the only thing that I really did to the judge is I added the silencer. The rest of it is pretty basic. The same as if I were to go loud. And then if I am going silent, I'm still going to carry my weapon butts. I'm going to wear my 2-piece suit, and I'm going to bring my upgraded ECMs. Yeah, I think I've covered everything. Again, guys, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. And thanks for watching.